Millwall versus Sheffield Wednesday, 1976 League Cup match. In this video, we rewind to 1976 and a tense battle between the Owl Crime Squad of Sheffield Wednesday, visiting Millwall's Cold Blow Lane at the Old Den. Let's hear the stories. Sheffield Wednesday Owls Crime Squad Lenny told us. You gotta remember, football hooligans were unrestricted back in the 70s. Rarely a police escort. Even if you started with an escort, the police would disappear after a hail of bricks landed on you and them. Most of the time, you made your own way to and from the ground. Away fans weren't organised. Fans would be organised until they got off the coaches and trains, and then it was a free-for-all. Nearly all grounds were the same. Some of the worst grounds to visit by Football Special had the longest walks to the ground, such as Leeds and Liverpool or Everton. Some grounds, even the coach parks, were a death trap, like West Ham and Millwall. Not just those places, but everywhere could catch you out. I went to Everton by coach, thinking it's better than the long walk to and from the station, and the Everton scallies would invade the coaches and rob you and beat you up, all watched by the local busies. Wednesday had about 500 nutters who would go to every away match, but to a renowned hooligan ground like West Ham or Millwall, we would only take a couple of hundred. People knew their reputation and would feign sick or busy for these ones. I could add Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Leeds, Newcastle, Sunderland, Birmingham and Wolves to the mix, as they were, even in 76, well-known hooligan hotspots. Go there at your own risk sort of thing. This is pre-Owl Crime Squad. Always hated that name. Don't know who come up with it, but it's hardly terrifying, is it? Bushwhackers, ICF, headhunters, then Owl Crime Squad. Anyway, we didn't really have a name until the mid-80s, but I digress. Anyway, Millwall 76, a meeting was held at the local pub to see how many wanted to make the journey, and it was a lot less than normal. We took 3 coaches down, so around 150 of us. Some were real hard cases from the usual Sheffield dumps. Started as soon as we got off the coach. Millwall attacked us, with coppers watching on and doing absolutely sod all. The coppers eventually stepped in when one of ours was being beaten so bad, he might have been killed if they hadn't intervened. Then, once they'd cleared the Millwall away, they sent us the wrong direction down the road. We all walked onto what we thought was the away end and started the Wednesday chant. We thought some Wednesday fans might have arrived by train or car. We were wrong. We were it. At the far end of the ground, no chanting, but a mass of bodies started moving round the ground towards our end. There were no fences anywhere, so within a few minutes the welcoming committee had arrived where we were stood. Several had knives, bats, and what looked to be koshes. There was a skirmish, and we decided we were not only outnumbered, but against a load of tooled-up mentals. We legged it onto the pitch and into the stand. Millwall followed. What followed was like the scene from Custer's Last Stand, with wave after wave of Millwall attacking our desperate defending ourselves against the exit gates that were by now locked. We couldn't get out, and we were getting crushed by the Wednesday fans trying to repel the Millwall attacks. Just when you thought the game was up and we would all die, the old Bill eventually arrived and shoved us to the back of the stand. The police formed a line between us and the now increasing hordes of Millwall nutters, some doing the slashy throat sign with their fingers, others doing the hangman noose sign with their hands, some showing us knives and koshes under their coats. It was surreal. We lost 3-0 and match finished at 9 to 15 p.m. At 10 p.m. we were still inside the ground. I asked a copper what was going on. He said, "We've set the dogs on them 3 times, but they keep coming back. They don't like you lot, do they? Haven't seen them this worked up for at least a month." Eventually, 10:30 p.m., they let us out, to discover that the buses had just about every window put through. The coaches made their way up Old Kent Road, only to be attacked again whenever we came across a boozer. Funny thing is, we all hit the deck looking up to see bottles and bricks fly through the coach from left to right, as there were no windows left to stop the missiles. We didn't stop till Watford Gap, absolutely freezing. The coach driver told us we'd even been fired at with a pellet gun. I did go back to Millwall, but not until the 80s. Nothing had changed. It was complete mayhem then as well, but that's another story. Millwall bushwhacker Martin told us, "I'm sorry, I don't actually remember that particular match. Wednesday say they legged it onto the pitch and were attacked at the exit gate. Well, as this was a usual tactic of ours, it could be one of hundreds. Let's remember, even Man United in their heyday wouldn't come to the old Den. Imagine that scene. Hordes of Man United invading every ground, even the tougher ones like Cardiff 74, West Ham 75, Spurs 76, everywhere basically. But none at Millwall. Not one Man United turned up at our place 1974, when they had their one rampaging season in Division 2, now the Championship. That's how bad Millwall's reputation was. Some away fans did turn up, usually unsuspecting ones. Thought they would get some police protection, or they could stick together, that sort of mentality. But they didn't usually come back. We did have the nutters from Swansea, Portsmouth and Bristol City make fine efforts in the 70s, but they were swiftly dealt with by one of the gangs or other. West Ham's Mile End had a go in the cold blow lane at the Harry Cripps testimonial, but they were lucky to even survive. And let me tell you, they were a top firm, but were always on the back foot at this one. Chelsea tried it on and got smashed all over southeast London and didn't come back until the 80s. Spurs turned up around 77 and, to be fair, did well, one of the best firms I've seen around here. But I think it was an early kick-off, and some of our lot had been out drinking, so were inebriated that morning. By the time the match ended, they were just getting started again, and did attack Spurs' escort. But this was one match there was a giant police escort. I think they may have been on holiday double pay or something. Anyway, like I say, one of the best firms to come to the Den, so fair play to them. Anyway, I digress again. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh, well, the old Den was evil back then. Didn't matter which part of the ground you arrived in, and it was deliberately confusing. I believe all those earlier, Swansea, Portsmouth and Bristol City, all entered the wrong end of the ground, but it didn't matter. In those days you simply walked all the way round and attacked the away fans. Some scattered elsewhere or onto the pitch. Then when the fences went up it got harder obviously, but there were still ways round it. I better shut up. I've said too much. Let's just say there were ways round the fences. If you know, you know. But sorry, I can't tell you more about this particular match against Sheffield. It was just one of many from that period, where the away fans were on the pitch, fleeing the mayhem, or fleeing the nightmare waiting for them on the streets around the Den. It was madness when I look back. Utter carnage, really. Let's put it this way. I have never met one single person who has said Millwall away was an easy day out for them in the 70s. Not one. Nuff said. We thank Lenny and Martin for their recollections. It's clear that the Sheffield Wednesday fans had a traumatic day in southeast London, and one those present will remember for the rest of their lives, but fair play for even attending. A lot of away fans didn't bother. I know Millwall nearly got promoted in the 70s. Now wouldn't that have been an interesting time? It's a pity we couldn't find any Millwall contacts that remember this event, but hopefully you enjoyed their perspective of being an bushwhacker hooligan at Millwall in the 70s. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe, as it really helps our channel grow to give you bigger, better content. Until the next video, bye for now.